Please come to the hall. We are starting the seminar. We are late by 5 minutes. Friends and fellow seminarists, I welcome you all to the 6th academic session of the National Seminar on Significance, 6th academic session, National Seminar on Significance of Ideas of Swami Vivekananda in Modern Age. Hindu religion is not a dogma, a set of blind beliefs, a set of rituals prescribed by ancient scriptures, mythologies, but it is a mode of living aiming at achieving all-round perfection in personal, social, spiritual spheres, culminating in the realization of one's true self as well as of the Supreme Self. It is not a product of ratiocination, and as such, it does not lie merely on the plane of intellect. It is realization of the ultimate truth in life. Swami Vivekananda called religion a vision, an inspiration, a plunge into the unknown and the unknowable. We have two eminent scholars amidst us who will be speaking in this session on the topic, a comparative study of education, social and religious thoughts of Swamiji, Mahatma Gandhi and Lokmanya Balagangadhar Tilak. The first speaker is Professor B. Sambasiva Prasad, Director of the Center for Gandhian Studies, Geetam Institute of Management, Geetam University, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. He would be speaking on a comparative study of the religious thoughts of Swami Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhi. I would now request him to make his presentation of his paper.
Respected Chair, Professor Devavrata Sen Sharma, Honorable Monks of the Ramakrishna Mission, learned delegates and friends. At the outset, I am thankful to Professor Chakravarti and the authorities of ICPR for sponsoring my name to this wonderful event, and I am equally thankful to the organizers of this seminar for having invited me to participate in this program. This invitation enabled me to land on the holy soil where Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Swami Vivekananda lived and preached. This is my first visit to this ashram, and it gave me all peace and happiness during my stay over here for the past 2 days, and also enabled me to learn more and more on Swami Vivekananda. I am happy to be associated with several scholars who participated in this wonderful event. With these few introductory observations, let me present my paper. The title of my paper is A Comparative Study of Religious Thoughts of Swami Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhi. The objective of this paper is to expound, analyze and compare the religious thoughts and practices of Swami Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhi. The paper is divided into 3 sections. In the first section, the vision and mission of Vivekananda and Gandhi are explained. In the second section, an overview of the philosophies of Vivekananda and Gandhi is given. The final section compares the religious thoughts of these two great thinkers and practitioners. To the youth of India, there can be no better leader than Swami Vivekananda. Paying his tributes to Vivekananda, the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, said that the Swami gave us something which brings us a certain pride in our inheritance. What he had written and said is of interest for a long time to come. Directly or indirectly, he had powerfully influenced the India of today. Nehru wanted our younger generation to take advantage of this fountain of wisdom, of spirit and fire, that flows through Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda's mission was to propagate the lofty teachings of the Vedanta throughout the world and to regenerate his motherland in tune with her ancient tradition and inherent genius. Towards this end, he bent all his energies and passed away in a very young age. Swamiji was a man of the spirit who had realized the ultimate truth. Over and above, he was a patriot monk, a social reformer, an educationist, an orator, and a gifted composer of poems, and was blessed with a melodious voice. Vivekananda advocated the wisdom of Vedanta in the common man's language. He did not believe that philosophers must confine to caves and mountains, but he wanted them to infuse the wisdom handed down from the tradition to the spiritual and secular development of the modern world. In fact, the Swami practiced it in his life. In a similar way, Mahatma Gandhi stands unique in that he taught us the philosophy of resisting without physical force, transforming without disrespecting, and subduing without humiliating. Every move he made was aimed at the welfare of humanity, harmony in society, and a world free from conflict and violence. No other Indian showed the formidable commitment in extending succor to the underprivileged and the exploited as did Gandhi. It is for this reason that Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan observed that the best way to honor Gandhi is to provide people the basic amenities of life: food for the hungry, clothes for the naked, schools for the illiterate, health for the sick. In short, to serve what Gandhi chose to call Daridra Narayana. In a world where people believe politics as an occasion to secure power, power to bully their adversaries, power to exploit others, Gandhi used it as an instrument of service. He hated politics aimed at grabbing power and wealth, and politics devoid of morals. There was a tremendous impact of Indian tradition on both Vivekananda and Gandhi. Vivekananda was influenced by the life and thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna, his master, whose teachings constitute the quintessence of Vedanta. Though Gandhi was influenced by Western thinkers like Thoreau and Ruskin, primarily he was influenced by the teachings of the Upanishads, the Gita, and Jainism. Both Vivekananda and Gandhi are the philosophers of the spirit. Spiritual consciousness is the essence of their philosophies. Their social, educational, and religious philosophy advocate vividly this aspect. As eternal consortiums of spiritual consciousness, both Mahatma Gandhi and Swami Vivekananda strive for spiritual excellence. Vivekananda believes that society is a comprehensive whole where each and every individual is integrally related to the whole. The individual has to subserve his selfishness and the individual interests for the holistic progress of the society. Thus he said that each of us is Vishti, whereas society is Samishti. Socialism and individualism are the two trends that emerge on the question whether or not Vishti should completely sacrifice its own will, its own happiness for Samishti. When socialism demands the sacrifice of individual freedom to social supremacy, individualism advocates the cause of the individual. In this regard, Vivekananda upholds the doctrine of socialism and argues for the sacrifice of the individual interest for the social progress and development. A similar view we find in Gandhi when he said that the non-violent society must be organized in a decentralized way. In this structure composed of innumerable villages, there will be ever-widening, ever-ascending circles. Life will not be a pyramid with the apex sustained by the water, but it will be an oceanic circle whose center will be the individual always ready to perish for the village, the latter ready to perish for the circle of villages, till at last the whole becomes one life composed of individuals. Vivekananda is against the discrimination of individuals in terms of caste, class, creed, and sex because he believes that soul has no such divisions. In view of this, he rejected the practice of the isolation of the pariahs from the rest of the society. In one of his writings, he observed that Sri Ramakrishna, his master, made no such distinctions between the low and the high, and cited the noble instance where Sri Ramakrishna has cleaned the house of a pariah which was against the custom of his time and age. Vivekananda considered Sri Ramakrishna as the role model of the practice of the socialistic idea of the casteless society. Similar to Vivekananda, we find in Gandhi a firm opposition against the discrimination of people in terms of caste. We find in Gandhi's theory and practice a strong opposition against the notion of untouchability. He did not enter into temples where Harijans were not allowed into them. Writing to the Young India on 11 September 1924, Gandhi observed that his entry into politics itself is followed from his desire to serve the depressed and underprivileged classes. Vivekananda's views on education are highly commendable. He said that the ideal of all education should be man-making. But instead of that, we are always trying to polish up outside. What use in polishing up the outside when there is no inside? Questions Vivekananda. He observes, the end and aim of all training is to make man grow. Education, he says, is not filling with a lot of facts. On the contrary, the ideal of education must be perfecting the instrument and getting complete mastery of one's mind. Similar to Vivekananda, Gandhi felt that the modern education cares only the physical and mental development of the child and ignores the spiritual aspects. He opined that a balanced intellect presupposes a harmonious growth of body, mind and soul. Ethics was the foundation of Gandhi's concept of education. He wanted education to promote morality, character building, refinement, behavioral change, development of personality were the socio-ethical aims of education for Gandhi. His character building concept in education included truth, purity, fearlessness, and integral development of mind, body, and spirit. In this way, he advocated for personality development. This is the objective of his Night Thali. The social and educational thoughts of Vivekananda and Gandhi are developed upon the foundations of their religion. The spiritual and moral pursuits of religion play a vital role in their life and thoughts. Vivekananda considers religion as the innermost core of education. For him, the ethics of religion must percolate in all the social activities of human being. Similar to Vivekananda, we find in Gandhi a fair play of religion. Gandhi's doctrine is like a huge edifice composed of two different floors or grades. Below is the solid ground, the basic foundations of religion. On this vast and unshakable foundation, is based his political and social campaign. Gandhi was a political leader by necessity because of the circumstances. However, the essential part of his edifice is religious in nature. Religion thus constitutes the seminal part of the teachings of Vivekananda and Gandhi. This paper focuses upon the religious thoughts of these two thinkers in detail. The religious teachings of both Vivekananda and Gandhi are rooted in tradition. While Vivekananda derived inspiration from that of Vedanta, Gandhi was influenced by the Upanishads, the Gita, and Jainism. Vivekananda writes that the Vedanta is the rationale of all religions. Without it, every religion is superstition. With it, everything becomes religion. Referring to the Jaina theory of Shadvada, meaningless of reality, Gandhi said that it had taught him to judge a Muslim from his own standpoint and a Christian from his own. Gandhi derived his principle of ahimsa from the Jaina doctrine of Shadvada and extended it in his theory and practice of religion. Both Vivekananda and Gandhi agreed to the view that religion is an inquiry into the absolute truth or the spirit that goes beyond the comprehension of sense, experience and reason. Vivekananda observes that religion is not on the plane of intellect. It is a vision, an inspiration, a plunge into the unknown and unknowable. It is where the eyes of the ears cannot go, where the mind cannot read, or what words cannot express. It is not to know in the ordinary sense of the word, not intellectual understanding, not a mere rationalistic comprehension of the real things, but an intense realization. Religion, Vivekananda says, is realization, not talk, or doctrine, not theories, however beautiful they may be. If religion belongs to the realm of unknowable, why struggle for that infinite unknown? Why not remain content with the known? Why not be satisfied with eating, drinking and doing a little good to society? Answering these questions, Vivekananda observes that one must inquire into the beyond because human life will be a result it will be futile if we cannot realize the beyond. Animals are contented with a sensuous life. If man gets contented with the sensuous things as animals and never attempts to inquire into the beyond, there would be no difference between a human and animal life. This inquiry into the beyond constitutes religion. Similar to Vivekananda, Gandhi too viewed that religion is an inquiry into the underlying reality. By religion, Gandhi means not formal or customary religion, but that religion which underlies all religions, which brings us face to face with our Maker. He holds that whilst everything around him is ever changing, ever dying, behind all that change there exists a living power that does not change, that holds together, that creates, dissolves and recreates. That living power of spirit Gandhi calls as God. Initially Gandhi considered God is truth, but subsequently he realized that there will be atheists that deny the existence of God, and therefore in order to arrive at a uniform definition acceptable to all, Gandhi revised his standpoint and said, truth is God. He contends that there may be people who deny God, but there can be none that deny truth. Therefore, he opined, truth is God. To quote Gandhi, truth is God, God is because truth is. Gandhi's revision of the statement from God is truth to truth is God is a conclusion he derived after a continuous and relentless search after truth for 50 years. His distinction between God is truth and truth is God, Professor K. Ramakrishna argues, marks a point of departure from his original theological position to moralistic conception of God. By truth, Gandhi does not mean merely speaking truth. To him, truth should be practiced in thought, word, and action. It should be reflected in one's thinking, speech, and lifestyle. Truth, Gandhi identified with reality. The word truth in Sanskrit comes from the root sat, which means reality. According to Gandhi, where there is truth, there is non-violence. Truth and non-violence, satya and ahimsa, are intertwined. They are as inseparable as the two sides of a coin. Gandhi is not merely interested to know what truth is, its definition and textual meaning. Rather, he is interested in the implementation of truth in one's practical life. Thus, he is more a pragmatist rather than confining to the theoretical aspects of truth. Thus, in the philosophy of Gandhi, we pass from religion to ethics, from God to good. In both Vivekananda and Gandhi, we find a great effort for religious harmony. Referring to different religions, Vivekananda opined that they are all different roads that lead to God. He argues that religion is one, but its applications are many. Each and every religion, he says, should give its own message, but you should not find the defects in other religions. To Vivekananda, different religions are not contradictory but complementary. Each religion and its conception of God is true from its perspective. Truth is one, but the wise express it differently. Therefore, what every religion represents is only one perspective of truth. The different perspectives given by different religions do constitute the whole of the truth, God. In his various speeches and writings, Vivekananda illustrated this point with a number of examples. When different photographs of the sun are taken by an astronaut from different distances and angles of vision, these photographs differ from one another. However, they are not contradictory because they are the photographs of the same sun. Similarly, different religions are not contradictory but complementary. They are the different perspectives of the ultimate truth, God. When we all go with a variety of vessels, a cup, a jar, and a bucket, to fetch water from a lake, the water in each case takes the form of the vessel carried by us. The water in the cup takes the shape of a cup. The water in the jug takes the shape of a jug, and so on. However, in every case, there is only water and nothing else. In the same way, different religions offer different perspectives of the absolute truth, God, and therefore they are not different from each other, but do speak of the same truth from different points of view. Vivekananda remarks, variation is the sign of life, and it must be there. Substantiating this point, he observes, a person is like a spring in the watch. And it is not necessary that all watches have the same kind of spring. In the same way, it is not necessary that we all have the same religion. To put it in the language of Vivekananda, if we all had the same ideas, the world would be dead. Therefore, differences must be allowed to multiply so that there will be as many sets of human beings and each one will have his own interpretation. However, we must be able to evolve one universal religion in the midst of different interpretations. By universal religion, Vivekananda does not mean one universal doctrine or ritual. On the contrary, it is a composition of different religious philosophies, mythologies, and rituals. He argues that man is different from woman, but as human beings, they are one. Humans, animals, plants differ in their structure, lifestyle, habits, and habitats. However, they are all one as living beings. In the same way, different religions differ in their philosophies, mythologies, and rituals. However, they all belong to one universal religion. Vivekananda compares the universal religion with a thread that runs through several perils, where each peril is a religion or even a sect thereof. The Lord is the thread that runs through all of them. Similar to Vivekananda, Gandhi too observes that different religious practices are different expressions of the same truth. Even as a tree has a single trunk but many branches and leaves, so also there is one true and perfect religion, but it becomes many as it passes through the human medium. The one religion, says Gandhi, is beyond speech. However, when people begin to express, they interpret it in different ways. We cannot say one interpretation is correct and the other is false. Everybody is right from his own perspective, but it is impossible that every person is wrong. Therefore, the necessity of tolerance, which does not mean indifference to one's own faith, but a more intelligent and purer love for it. Tolerance gives us spiritual insight, which is as far from fanaticism as the North Pole from the South. True knowledge of religion breaks down the barrier between faith and faith. Cultivation of tolerance for other faiths will impart to us a truer understanding of our world. The study of other religions, besides one's own, Gandhi believes, will give one a grasp of the rock bottom unity of all religions and afford a glimpse also of the universal and absolute truth which lies beyond the dust of creeds and faith. However, he cautioned that if one reads Quran, one must read it with the eye of the Muslim. So also if one reads Bible, one must read it with the eye of the Christian. Similarly, if one reads Bhagavad Gita, one must read it with the eye of a Hindu. That makes one to grasp the rock bottom truth of your religious text. Gandhi said that it is a misconception to think that one's reading of other religious texts will distort one's religious beliefs. On the other hand, the readings of other religious texts will make one to understand better one's own religion. Gandhi held that his respectful study of other religions had not abated his reverence for the Hindu scriptures. On the contrary, they had indeed left their deep impression upon his understanding of the Hindu scriptures. They had broadened his view of life and enabled him to understand more clearly many obscure passages in the Hindu scriptures. Gandhi considered different religions as different beautiful flowers from the same botany. He remarked that as different religions are fundamentally the same, we should respect all religions equally. We should not merely tolerate but respect other faiths as our own. Gandhi prefers the term ahimsa to the word tolerance because tolerance may imply an assumption of the inferiority of other faiths to one's own. But ahimsa teaches the same respect for other religious faiths as we ought to our own. Respect to other religions, says Gandhi, one should practice through one's life instead of merely preaching to others. Just like a rose does not preach nor write a book, but simply spreads its fragrance by its presence, so also, says Gandhi, one should not merely indulge in lecturing or writing on religious harmony, but should practice it in his or her life and should become a role model for others. In fact, this is what Gandhi did in his life. His life was his message. In view of his commitment to religious harmony, Gandhi opposed to religious conversion. He said that if a Christian were to come to him and said that he was captivated by reading Bhagavad and so wanted to declare himself a Hindu, Gandhi would rather advise him not to do so, because what Bhagavad offers, the Bible too offers. Instead of getting converted into Hindu, Gandhi held that a Christian should attempt to become a better Christian. Thus, Gandhi did not permit proselytizing. His English disciple, Mrs. Late, was never converted to Hinduism. Similarly, Richard Gregg, who wrote extensively on non-violence and stayed in Gandhi's ashram, never became a Hindu. Gandhi said, "We have in the ashram today several faiths represented. No proselytizing is practiced or permitted. We recognize that all these faiths are true and divinely inspired, and all have suffered through the necessarily imperfect handling of an imperfect man." Gandhi felt that the different religions are just labels under which people live in this world. However, in the other world, people are judged not with reference to these labels, but with reference to their actions. Therefore, he did not mind being called either Hindu or a Muslim or by any other name. However, he would prefer to retain the label of his forefathers so long as he does not cramp his growth and does not debar him from assimilating all that is good everywhere else. Both Vivekananda and Gandhi contend that there is an intimate relation between religion and morality. They did not approve religion if it is moral. Vivekananda observes that religion is love. Purity and morality have been always the object of religion. According to him, we should not respect religion which advocate vice. Such religion ought to be expelled at once because it is productive of harm. Similar to Vivekananda, Gandhi did not approve religion if it is immoral. For him, religion and morality are intertwined. We cannot think of one without the other. He said that so long as the seed of morality is not watered by religion, it cannot sprout. Without water, it withers and ultimately perishes. Thus, it will be seen that true or ideal morality ought to include true religion. Though Gandhi explains the intimate relation between religion and morality, if there is a conflict between the two, he prefers morality to religion. He did not approve a person if he merely utters the name of God and at the same time committing sinful acts. He remarks that God will not help us and answer our impatient prayer for help if we utter his name while having a dagger concealed under our arm. If there were two persons, one who believes in the existence of God, yet breaks all his commandments, and another who, though not acknowledging God by name, worships him through his deeds and obeys his laws, Gandhi says that without a moment's thought, he would consider the second man alone to be religious and immortal. Thus, we find in Gandhi a strong disapproval against people who claim to be religious but immoral in their actions. For him, religion and morality are inseparable. Both Vivekananda and Gandhi advocate practical religion. Vivekananda says that one may read all the Bibles in the world, but that will not give us religion. The theoretical religion is easy enough to get. However, what we want is practical religion, which is doing good to his fellow beings. Vivekananda's religion is practical in the sense that while stressing upon the spiritual values of religion, he did not relegate the physical needs of the body. He said, "I do not believe in a God or religion which cannot wipe the widow's tears or bring a piece of bread to the orphan's mouth. However sublime be the theories, however well spun may be the philosophy, I do not follow religion so long as it is confined to books and dogmas. The eye is in the forehead and not in the back. Move onward and carry it into practice, that which you are very proud to call your religion." Gandhi's religion is also practical. He wanted to extend the ethical and spiritual values of religion to the social, economic, and political life of man. In fact, Gandhi did not demarcate between religious, political, social, and ethical life. According to him, they are intimately related. They act and interact with each other and are derived and be consistent with religion. Gandhi said that he did not know any religion apart from human activity. From the above discussion, it is obvious that there are striking similarities between the religious thoughts and practices of Vivekananda and Gandhi. Their religious views are rooted in Indian tradition. Both of them agree to the view that religion is an inquiry into the absolute truth or the spirit that goes beyond the comprehension of a sense experience and reason. Vivekananda as well as Gandhi preached and practiced religious harmony, so also they did not approve religion if it is immoral. For them, there is an intimate relation between religion and morality. The religious approaches of Vivekananda and Gandhi are practical in nature. The religious reflections of Swami Vivekananda and Gandhi are of great significance in the modern age because religious identities are cropping up, leading to the division of people under several religious pockets. Moreover, the essence of religion is sidelined and its superficial features like rituals and practices are paid attention. Violence, hatred, and terrorism are advanced in the name of religion, ignoring principles of religious morality. Under these circumstances, the life and thoughts of Vivekananda and Gandhi do certainly infuse the necessary qualities to understand religious spirit in a rightful way and hence are relevant. To conclude, religion constitutes the bedrock of the philosophies of Vivekananda and Gandhi. Their social, educational, and political philosophies are nothing but the extensions of the spirit of the religion. Though we find several points of comparison between the life and thoughts of Vivekananda and Gandhi, we too find certain points of contrast. Unlike Gandhi, Vivekananda did not participate in active politics. While Gandhi led a series of political mass campaigns, Vivekananda disallowed any political activity and shortly withdrew from the organized politics. Having spiritualized politics, Gandhi led the Satyagraha campaigns to achieve his political goals. But we do not find such campaigns in Vivekananda's life. As his disciple, Sister Nivedita observes, Vivekananda was no politician, but is the greatest of patriots. In contrast to Gandhi, Vivekananda renounced the Grahastha ashrama and embraces sannyasa ashrama. But we do not find such an ascetic attitude in Gandhi. While leading the life of Grahastha, Gandhi led the life of detachment. Thus, he regarded the world itself to be the testing ground for every human experience, whether speculative or practical. Thank you for your patient hearing.
Thank you very much for your illuminating paper. The paper is now open to discussion. You can ask questions.
Sir, I would like to raise a question that occurred to me while listening to this excellent paper. And the question is whether it is useful not only to look at the similarities between two structures of thought or two tendencies of mind, but also to look at the differences. Sometimes when you ask this question, what are the differences between A and B, I think interesting answers might come up. And from that point of view, it would have been interesting to learn, to hear from the learned author of this paper, what would he regard as the chief differences between them. There are, of course, differences in terms of their personality. I mean, for instance, circumstantial reasons did not allow Swami Vivekananda to become an active politician in the manner in which Gandhiji became. Or again, I can see some differences in their social cultural attitude. I do not see in Vivekananda any trace of that idealization of rural life, village life, which one finds in Mahatma Gandhi. I do not recollect any place where Vivekananda does that. He was a very urban person. And so on. There are differences of this kind. Basically, Swamiji writes in a more philosophical mode, and Mahatma Gandhi was more pragmatist, and so on. But these are obvious things. But the crucial difference, I think, is that that emphasis on non-violence, which you see in Mahatma Gandhi, I have not seen, and I await Vivekananda specialists here to tell me, but I do not see that in Swamiji's writings. And I think that is a rather important aspect, because this was the core of Mahatma Gandhi's thinking. And at least I, for one, do not see this as a very central thing in Swami Vivekananda's thoughts. But I would just like to raise this as a question, but I do not hear the answer to this. Thank you.
Okay.
Here is the question.
Yes.
Sir, while Swamiji has stood for the unification of religion and stood for the driving towards the unification of all the things, Mahatma Gandhi, he chose the path of division of the country on the religious basis. What exactly the differences that he is pointing out, while Swamiji is standing towards the unification of the things, but Mahatma Gandhi, he divided the country on the religious basis. So how do you reconcile those?
No, sir, I do not, as a historian, I must protest. I cannot accept the view, sir, that Mahatma Gandhi divided the country on a religious basis.
No, I'm just...
I also do not subscribe.
The last thing that he will do.
I think it's actually I also protest,
This is
as
the
a
last
social
thing.
scientist.
I would have think that the difference lies here, that both of them were very much committed to thought of uniting all the religions. There's no difference. But Gandhi's, Vivekananda's approach was that all religions should be transcended, and the universal religion can be attained only by transcending all the particular religions. So Vivekananda's conception of universal religion is a transcendental unity. Mahatma Gandhi never thought about it. Mahatma Gandhi's idea of universal religion is a distributive unity, that all the religions should remain as they are, but there need not be any conflict between them. So therefore, Swamiji's conception of universal religion and Gandhi's conception of universal religion are completely different, and that is the base.
Yes.
I think one emphasizes the Bhakti Marg and another emphasizes the Jnana Marg.
Vivekananda everything.
Yeah, but I mean, the way you are putting it.
Vivekananda's central feature was also spiritualizing the whole world and all people. Whereas Mahatma Gandhi is through spiritualization he did not exclude. It was all-inclusive spiritualization with humanity and tolerance and succor and pity for common people, even including mass education and all that. And Mahatma Gandhi, the headline, the slogan, was only on the basis of humanity and non-violence. And non-violence is also there in Vivekananda's teaching, wherever he teaches that try to be tolerant and don't inflict injury on others.
Tolerance is not the same as non-violence.
No, but not
He mentioned that
not to cause injury to others. So the
And
basic
that would be
and
also the
please
Indian
excuse me,
also
sir.
says that.
Because my bad throat, I need to type.
Yeah, IPC also tells us.
No, and when he has written a small work on Bhagavad Buddha, and there when he eulogizes Buddha and why he praises Buddha, so that ahimsa, that is the basic thing. So far as the achara, behavioral part of Buddha, not the philosophical part. Of course, they are not exclusive of each other. So that way he has, and I don't want to disclose it, what I would say in my paper. how he eulogized one of the women characters of India, because of this quality, that this character never endured so much of injury, but never caused any injury or inflicted the other part.
I am thankful to all my friends and colleagues who have responded to my paper. At the outset, I am thankful to Professor Sambasiva Bhattacharya for making the point very clear that it is the point of non-violence, that is ahimsa, that makes Gandhi very unique, and we may not find very obviously, strikingly this point in Swami Vivekananda's philosophy. And all through, sir, I am looking at more about the similarities between Gandhi's and Vivekananda's conception of religion. And I did not take it so seriously about the differences. You made me to realize some of these differences. I will work upon this aspect, and thankful to you for giving me pointing out this concept of non-violence as the major difference we find between Gandhi and Vivekananda. And coming to the question of Prasad, I would like to say, in fact, Gandhi was against the division of India between Pakistan and also and also post-independent India. So he wanted for unification. He struggled for unification. He lived and died also for the unification of India. But unfortunately, India was pre-independent India was divided on religious basis, and which was against the wish and desire of Gandhi. So in this case, in this context, in this situation, under these situations, we cannot say that Gandhi is for division, whereas Vivekananda is for unification. This is the point. I may not, I disagree with you, sir, but the thing is, he is for unification, and at all levels, and he is an Advaita. There is no doubt about that. And both Vivekananda and Gandhi, they stood for the ideals of Advaita. They stood for the ideals of unification. And it is only if at all so therefore I may differ with you, sir, on this point. And finally, I am thankful to Professor Mukhopadhyaya for his beautiful comments. Sir, I would like to say that it's true that Vivekananda wants a transcendental unification, unification, but Gandhi wanted to retain the different religions. You don't want, actually, if you want to say that all religions must disappear or they must be done away, we must done away with religions. The different religions that are existing here, that where we are living, people are living, they cannot disappear at overnight. The religions do exist, and we have to accept certain facts. These facts we have to accept. And Gandhi is alive to the fact that different religions will exist, and they do exist. We cannot go beyond religions, but we must be able to tolerate other religions. We must be able to respect other religions. Just like the truth is one, but we can look at the truth from different perspectives. In the same way, even Vivekananda also accepts this. Vivekananda also do not want to bring down all the differences, the religions into at one level. I made this point very clear, sir, in the presentation of paper. By universe, Vivekananda stood for universal religion. By universal religion, Vivekananda does not mean one universal doctrine or ritual. On the other hand, it is a composition of different religious philosophies, mythologies and rituals. This is the point I made clear.
Just a minute. From the point of view of universal religion of Vivekananda, the Advaita, no difference. Once you reach that level, then all the differences disappear. But for as far as Gandhi is concerned, he never thought about that. He said all the religions are there, they should stay. So only a disjunctive, distributes are there. That is one point. But I have only one request from a Ghanaian scholar. Gandhi, so far as there is a book, a collection of Gandhiji's remarks and observations about Christianity. There is a book published. Do you have any such reference to me? Can you give me? Is there any such collection of Gandhiji's remarks and observations about Islam? Is there any such collection?
Islam. Vinoba Bhave has written, but not
I don't see. But about Christianity, there is a book. All the collection, book has been collection. We need to put us.
So,
I wanted to ask a question out of curiosity
yes.
of both Professor Sambasiva, Prasad, Professor Bhattacharya, and Professor Golpark. See, my understanding is like this: that it's true that Mahatma Gandhi was unique in his emphasis on ahimsa, explicit emphasis on ahimsa. But I also felt that Vivekananda, being of I would say that he also was a person of the Indian tradition. I suppose the Indian tradition is believed that ahimsa will produce more karma, and more likely to produce more karma. And therefore, if you believe in the cessation of karma, then you have to believe in ahimsa. Maybe you don't subscribe to it or explicate it, but that's the...
The first of the dharma mentioned by Manu, ahimsa. It's from the Manu, it's in the...
You see, I think that the difference, as far as I can see, is that ahimsa to Mahatma Gandhi is important as an instrument of social action. It does not play that role either in Manu or in the Indian Penal Code. But the Penal Code also tells us not to perpetrate acts of violence. So does Manu, and so do many others. But Mahatma Gandhi's uniqueness was to use it as an instrument of social and political action. And this was not anticipated by Mahatma Gandhi, by Swami Vivekananda. Sure. There is one difference, but I await other answers from Vivekananda experts in course of next few days.
Sir, with all due respects and pranams to Professor Mukhopadhyay, I would like to submit one thing. It's not necessary that Gandhi should write some books on Islam or something like that. The way how he led his life, he has sacrificed his life for religious unity. That is more important. And if we look at from the perspective, he has respected all religions equally. He has sacrificed his life for the religious unity, and he, as he truly said, his life itself is message. Thank you.
Second, the point is there is something controversial about what Professor Mukhopadhyay also said. The Anthony Pereira's recent edition of Hind Swaraj, one place it says that Gandhi's a close friend, whom we consider his philosopher, guide and friend, says that for Gandhi, the idea of non-violence that is there in Buddhism and Jainism was too negative. In fact, closer to Christianity, where ahimsa becomes love. That is one. Second, adding to what Professor Bhattacharya is saying, that the difference is quite important in this sense that at the same time, similarity is also important so that similarities don't get confined to only one aspect, namely religious commitment to religion. There are other things like political. Both of them are political, extremely political. In fact, that's what I wanted to say in earlier presentations of Nivedita, that she became political rather than Vivekananda was very spiritual. It is not so. She became political because of him. And he was very political, especially if we take into account, and my friends in Ramakrishna Mission should make it clear, what is Bhupendra Datta's account of Vivekananda's life. That is Swami Vivekananda, patriot monk of India. According to that book, he even cultivated friendship with a gunmaker for carrying on a revolution against the Britishers. You see, that was the thing. So I don't know whether Bhupendra Datta is off the mark, but one thing is very clear, he was political and important as father of Indian nationalism.
Thank you very much. So now, come to the end, because we are 10 minutes late.
Can I have the last question?
Later on you can discuss.